So you want the latest?
Yeah, give us the latest.
Okay, I just talked to Leader McConnell. The FBI is in the process of interviewing the three people named by Dr. Ford, PJ, Ms. Kaiser, and Mark Judge. They previously given statements saying that they don't remember being at a party with Dr. Ford and Kavanaugh, that they just don't remember that happening. Ms. Ramirez, who has refused to cooperate with the committee, is going to be interviewed by the FBI, and that's the scope of the FBI interview, and we should have something back fairly soon. Then we'll look at what they said, and hopefully we'll go to a vote this week, and I'm confident, given everything I know, that he'll be on the court.
So it sounds like the FBI investigation is a bust already. I mean, early on.
I don't know what they found. I know the agreement was that we would take a week and we'd interview the people that gave statements to the committee, the FBI would. And if there's a substantial change, I'd like to know that, and we'll make an intelligent decision if there's something new. If there's not anything new, I imagine we'll press on. Jeff Flake, who I like a lot, wanted to have the FBI interview the witnesses the committee had interviewed. And the Democrats have just refused to cooperate with us. And hopefully, I don't know how long it takes to interview 4 people, probably not that long. We'll see what they say and vote this week.
There was a lot of commentary out there. Did you happen to see what Steve Schmidt, the former advisor to Mr. McCain, said? Said Lindsey Graham is corrupted by political ambition.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason he wasn't invited to McCain's funeral. But all I would say is that if John McCain were the chairman of this committee, and Grassley's done a great job, and the witness said during the hearing, "This is the first I've heard that you were willing to come to California," after we had communicated multiple times the request, the offer to go to California, he would have blown his top. I think John would have been very disappointed if he'd been chairman of this committee. The people on the other side withheld information from the committee. So I know him pretty well. I think this is the most despicable process I've ever seen, and we're going to get to the bottom of what they did on the other side.
We sort of saw you in your attorney role last week when you were talking about some of the cases you've handled. Any interest in Attorney General, if that comes up?
Zero. What you saw last week was a guy who was really offended. I voted for Sotomayor and Kagan because I thought they were qualified. Everybody on the other side had made up their mind to vote no, which is fine. We can play it that way if you'd like. But what I saw was a good man completely destroyed. I don't know what happened to Dr. Ford. I think something did happen to her. But after her testimony, I don't know any more than I did before. He emphatically denied it. He's got a calendar, believe it or not, that talks about almost every day in the summer of 1982. I found his testimony to be compelling. I'm sorry about Dr. Ford. She's a victim of this too. Somebody betrayed her request to remain anonymous, and the person that did it had a political agenda. The Democrats had this information in July. They withheld it from the committee for this very reason, to delay this. And if her attorneys did not communicate to her that offer was on the table to go to California and do it privately so she didn't have to go through this, then we're going to get to the bottom of that. So there we go.
There's been a lot of commentary that Judge Kavanaugh's demeanor was not what we want to see in a Supreme Court justice. What's your response to that?
Well, that's the easiest decision I'll ever make. He was on the bench for 12 years. I've personally known him for 20 years. He got the highest rating you could get from the AB in terms of demeanor. What I saw was a guy whose life was ruined, was accused of being a gang rapist, a bumbling, stumbling alcoholic, a sexual predator, based on the flimsiest allegations that I've ever seen. None of these cases would get out of the batter's box. He was accused of 5 different things. One was found to be a complete lie. The other was an anonymous letter without a postmark. So what I saw, a guy that was pushing back, and it's like being run over by a truck, and the guy gets out of the truck and say, "You dented my truck." If they do this to him, call him every bad, vile name in the world and get upset because he pushes back, then God help the next nominee. He's not the problem, my friend. The people who did this to him are the problem. I don't worry about his temperament. I worry about what they did.
Do you watch Saturday Night Live?
No, I didn't. I'm sure I was on there.
Have you seen the Have you seen the clip?
No. I'll go look at it. I'm sure it was
in all the years you've been in politics, have you ever seen? Some people have called it a show of what's been going on with Kavanaugh and all this.
Well, I mean, what got me is when Senator Durbin turned to Kavanaugh and said, if you're truly innocent, you turn around and ask Don McGahn, the White House counsel, to continue the FBI investigation, that if you're really innocent, you wouldn't want to stop this charade. If you're really innocent, you'd want to keep it going and have your family put through hell. I thought that was inappropriate. Joe Biden rule is you're presumed innocent. That's the least America that I know. The Joe Biden rule is that FBI investigations don't make conclusions. They just provide you information. So what got me going was the way he was treated. Everything in his yearbook is just humiliated the guy. And what you saw was a guy who did not do that on my part. I voted for Sotomayor and Kagan because I respected the way it's always been done. Challenged the nominee. But if this is the new norm, where you can just bring up any allegation and get mad at, say the guy's not fit to be on the court when you try to ruin his life because he's fighting back. He had 6 FBI investigations before this. Nobody discovered that he was a stumbling, bumbling, drunk gang rapist in high school for a reason. So, low point in my Senate career. He needs to be on the court, and a no vote for him legitimizes the most despicable behavior I've ever seen. Power is intoxicating. The court's an important prize for the presidency. Trump put the names out. He won. He's picking from the list provided. He asked me who to choose, and I said Kavanaugh. If I had been president, I'd have chosen. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.